Have you ever had that feeling that makes you look over your shoulder? It makes you feel uncomfortable. That same feeling that leads some people to believe that the Clinton Foundation has implanted devices into them to send electronic messages straight to their brain. It's a common feeling. Well, sorta. Of either paranoia or intuition. That same instinct protects us. Helps us discern what's safe and what needs protecting. Though, what about those things that watch us back? That feel nothing for us? Or anything in general? The artificial. The CG, AI generated. Plastic, china, stone, and titanium. Is something artificial technically watching you? There are a few different names for it. Pediophobia and automatonophobia are the most common. The name aside, it's a discomfort of lifelike inanimate objects. Mannequins, dolls, wax figures, statues, and ventriloquist dummies, to name a few. The phobia is triggered for different reasons in different people. For some, a statue is totally chill, but a doll will cause them to run away in a panic. Exploring this rabbit hole to why you feel uncomfortable with the empty, soulless eyes of a china doll staring at you while you sleep inevitably leads to the Uncanny Valley effect, which is honestly better than a lot of rabbit holes which somehow always seem to inevitably lead to anti-Semitism. Looking at the relationship between realism and artificial, the Uncanny Valley theory finds the more something has human-like characteristic, the more likely people find it unsettling. Robotics and CG animation have left mental scarring on millions. Now, this theory isn't perfect, because not everybody is affected by it. Obviously, because there's a market for people to spend thousands of dollars to have sex with an anatomically correct mannequin. And believe it or not, some people actually liked this Sonic the Hedgehog design. I know. If you have a family member that suffers from this condition, cut them out of your life. For those who do experience the Uncanny Valley, why is it that way? That was terribly written. Scientists studying the brain of people affected by this have narrowed it down to the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is one of the squishy things inside the Halloween decoration inside your head that's responsible for regulating emotions. The prefrontal cortex is part of the brain that is responsible for decision-making that's against our base instincts. These areas go on overdrive when confronted with a human artifice, potentially because of the instinctual tribalism that exists within human nature, that us versus them mentality. The same instinct that brought the world to the brink of nuclear war because of the color of this dress. My wife almost left me because I said black and blue. I thought it was overexposed. The creator of the Uncanny Valley theory, roboticist Masahiro Mori, stated the reason he believes people are so uncomfortable with lifelike representations of humanity in robots and CG is because it triggers the same psychological response as seeing a dead person or a gravely sick person. It's not exactly like these fakes help their image in any way either, especially when roboticists are creating terrifying monstrosities that can kill you with its cold, pulseless grip while staring at you with an empty smile, or stories of mannequins moving locations or positions, or, of course, the curses! Load. As AI text-prompted image generation has become more powerful and accessible, there is one image that has become somewhat of an urban legend. Originating from a prompt that was designed to work negatively from the descriptors given, the image of a flush, dark-eyed, elderly woman appeared. Dubbed Loeb by the prompter, the image was subsequently uploaded to Reddit and Twitter. Reactions to the image came pouring in, some wishing to know the prompt methodology to recreate it, but some to share their own images, where the woman also appears. Loeb has become a modern urban legend, a new breed of creepypasta-style being, widely considered to be the first AI cryptid. While it isn't impossible for several images to come up looking very similar, random generation can conceivably come up with two images with indiscernible differences. Loeb may be something more sinister or evolved. Could some burgeoning consciousness be evolving from the algorithmic ether? For now, at least, it's just a strange, if not off-putting image. The statue afraid of storms. In the Graceland Cemetery of Chicago stands a white marble statue encased in protective glass, She sits on the grave of a child named Inez Briggs. In the 1800s, the child was caught in a massive rainstorm, locked outside because her stepfather was unhappy raising another man's child. The little girl hid from the storm under a tree and perished when it was struck by lightning. Stories are told that on nights of particularly bad storms, the statue will cover its face or disappear, only to be back in its original position once the storm has passed. One of the more famous cases of a cursed human-resembling object is that of Annabelle, a haunted doll that caught the attention of famed demonologists and occult researchers Ed and Lorraine Warren. According to the stories, a nurse was given the Raggedy Ann doll as a gift by her mother. In stark contrast from its look in the film bearing its name, it looks innocent and even charming. Bringing it home, her roommate loved it as well, and they decided to place it on the couch. The following days and weeks began strange instances. They would find the doll had moved from the position they left it in. Doors would be left open, lights would be on and off. They would hear whispering. They began to find notes written on small pieces of parchment which weren't anywhere else in the apartment that said, "Help me." The events escalated to such a degree that they made the obvious move of calling a priest. Because spooky, needy demon dolls is their business. It eventually worked its way to the famed paranormal investigators, who believed the doll was a vessel for a demonic force. According to their written account, spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what occurred in the Annabelle case. The spirit manipulated the doll and created the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host. I'm justified in not liking dolls. Human nature is strange. Phobias, fears, desires, and fetishes play a distinct role in the development of the sense of self. The primal versus evolved segments of our brain struggling for control. What's funny to one person is absolutely grotesque to another. We all have fears, desires, and phobias. Our minds scream danger to protect us. So you have to wonder, what is it that makes you afraid? As always, please remember to leave your thoughts down in the comment. I would love it if you'd like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. And until next time, toodaloo.